Have you ever woken up feeling that something invisible was pressing down on your spirit? That no matter how much you try, peace seems to slip through your fingers? Maybe you felt that the world around you is getting darker, heavier, and more uncertain with each passing day. But what if I told you that hidden within two ancient prayers, Psalm 91 and Psalm 23, lies a divine key capable of completely transforming your day, your emotions, and even the atmosphere around you? These aren't just words written thousands of years ago. They are living promises. Powerful declarations spoken by men who faced danger, fear, and despair, and yet found supernatural protection and unshakable peace in the presence of God. And today, those same words are waiting to come alive in your life. Psalm 91 is often called the prayer of protection. It is the divine shield for those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High. When you recite it, you are not simply reading verses. You are invoking the most powerful spiritual force in the universe, the voice of faith that commands angels, silences fear, and breaks invisible chains. Imagine starting your day not with anxiety, but with the unshakable certainty that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Imagine stepping out of your home wrapped in an invisible armor of light, where every plan of harm melts away before it even reaches you. That's the reality Psalm 91 invites you into. But there's another sacred song, one that brings comfort to the soul, healing to the heart, and light to even the darkest valleys. Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. These words have crossed centuries, whispered in hospitals, battlefields, prisons, and quiet rooms where tears fell silently. They remind you that you are not alone, that even when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, there is a hand guiding you, protecting you, restoring your strength. Together, Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 form a powerful spiritual alliance, one for protection, the other for peace. When you pray them together, something begins to shift. It's as if the air around you becomes lighter. The noise in your mind starts to quiet down. The fear that once tried to dominate you loses its power. You begin to feel safe, centered, whole. Now, take a moment and imagine your morning routine infused with this divine energy. Before you even check your phone or face the chaos of the day, you close your eyes and whisper, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." You feel those words sink deep into your spirit. You feel the warmth of God's presence wrapping around you. And then, softly, you continue, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Every line you speak becomes a vibration of faith, aligning your heart with the frequencies of heaven. The stress that used to dominate your mornings dissolves. The doubts that whispered, "You can't," begin to fade. Because now, you are standing under divine protection, walking through your day guided by an invisible shepherd who never sleeps. What makes these psalms so powerful is not just the poetry, but the promise behind the words. When you believe, when you speak them with conviction, they become more than ancient text. They become living truth. Angels are commanded concerning you. Paths open that were once closed. The peace that surpasses understanding floods your heart. And even when chaos tries to rise, you walk through it untouched because your spirit has found its anchor. Think about it. How different would your day look if every morning began not with fear or exhaustion, but with the certainty that heaven itself watches over you? What if, instead of worrying about what could go wrong, you could walk knowing that the shepherd of your soul is already ahead of you, preparing your way? You see, Psalm 91 doesn't just protect, it empowers. It declares that you will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, that no evil will befall you. that God Himself will deliver you from every hidden trap and every shadow danger. It's a spiritual contract of protection, signed by divine authority and sealed with faith. And Psalm 23, it's the reminder that even when life feels overwhelming, you are not walking alone. The shepherd knows your steps. He restores your soul when it's weary. He prepares a table before you, even in the presence of your enemies. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow you, not just today, but all the days of your life. Together, these psalms create an atmosphere of miracle, a place where your faith becomes a force field, where your energy shifts from fear to faith, from doubt to divine assurance. That's why those who truly understand their power never go a single day without speaking them. Maybe right now you're searching for a sign. Maybe you've been feeling tired, anxious, or spiritually dry. But this moment right here is no coincidence. You were meant to hear this. You were meant to be reminded that there is still divine strength waiting for you to call upon it. Because when you pray Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 together, you are not just reading, you are awakening. You are declaring to every force of darkness that you belong to the light. You are aligning yourself with divine order, claiming your peace, your protection, your destiny. So, the next time you feel that heaviness pressing down, stop, breathe, close your eyes and whisper these words. Let them flow through your soul. Because even if everything around you seems uncertain, there is one truth that will never change. The Lord is your shepherd, and he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High is forever safe under his shadow. This is the secret so few truly understand, that the real transformation begins when prayer becomes presence, when the Psalms aren't just recited but felt, when their vibration becomes your inner frequency and your entire being aligns with the peace of God. And once that happens, something extraordinary begins to take place within you. Your heart starts to beat in harmony with a divine rhythm, a rhythm of trust, peace, and unshakable faith. The worries that used to shout so loudly begin to whisper, then fade into silence. You feel as though something sacred has awakened inside you, a light that was always there but buried beneath the noise of the world. And now, through the words of Psalm 91 and Psalm 23, that light begins to burn brighter, spreading through every corner of your soul. Because when you truly enter these prayers, you are no longer just speaking, you are stepping into a sacred realm. Each verse becomes a doorway, each line a bridge between heaven and earth. He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you shall take refuge. Can you feel that? It's not just a metaphor, it's a spiritual reality. It's as if invisible wings wrap around you, warm, soft, yet impenetrable to any darkness. In that moment, your spirit remembers, you were never meant to walk through this life unprotected. You were never meant to fight every battle alone. There is a presence that goes before you, that surrounds you, that walks beside you, even when you cannot see it. And every time you speak the words of Psalm 91, you awaken that presence. You invite divine forces to move on your behalf. Now, imagine this. It's morning again. The sun hasn't fully risen, and the world still feels quiet. You sit by your window, a soft light brushing across your face, and you begin your day not with scrolling, not with worry, but with prayer. You whisper, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High," and the room begins to feel different. It's as though something unseen has entered. The air grows lighter, your chest expands, and peace, real peace, begins to fill you. And then, as your lips speak, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," a shift happens within. That sentence alone holds the power to dissolve lack, to remove the illusion of separation. Because in those words lies a hidden truth. If the Lord is your shepherd, you already have everything you need.
You are guided, you are provided for, you are loved beyond measure. Many people read the Psalms as poetry, but you are beginning to understand the secret they hold. They are not just beautiful words, they are spiritual codes, frequencies that reshape reality. When spoken with faith, they alter the atmosphere, realign your energy, and draw divine protection and favor toward you like a magnet. That's why every prophet, every mystic, every believer who truly walked in power understood one thing: the Word is alive. And right now, as you let these words sink in, something ancient and powerful begins to awaken inside you. The same faith that protected David from Goliath, the same peace that carried him through betrayal, loss, and darkness, the same light that turned his tears into songs. That same power is now whispering through your own heartbeat, reminding you that no matter what you face today, you are not alone. The storms may come, the shadows may rise, but the one who walks with the shepherd does not fear the valley. Because even in the deepest night, there is a staff guiding you. Even in your weakness, there is a table being prepared for you, a table of abundance, of rest, of divine restoration. And here's what many people never realize. Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 are not meant to be separate experiences. Together, they form a perfect spiritual circle. One is the voice of heaven's protection, the other the song of heaven's peace. Psalm 91 shields you from the external storms. Psalm 23 calms the inner ones. When you pray them back to back, something mystical happens. Your inner and outer worlds begin to align. You start to notice coincidences that aren't coincidences at all. The right person calls, the right opportunity appears. The problem that felt immovable suddenly shifts. It's not magic, it's divine orchestration responding to your vibration of faith. Because prayer doesn't just ask, it activates. And so, with every word you speak, the energy of fear begins to dissolve. Your home becomes filled with an invisible warmth, a serenity that words can barely describe. You begin to sense that angels, yes, angels, have taken their posts around you, around your loved ones, around your path. You feel a divine assurance. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Those words aren't a promise for someone else. They are for you right now. And maybe you've been going through something lately. A challenge, a loss, a fear that keeps creeping into your nights. But listen closely. The same God who inspired David to write those Psalms is watching over you this very moment. The same divine power that protected him in battle is waiting to surround you in peace. So don't just read, don't just listen, let it fill you. Feel the words in your chest, let them echo in your soul. Because as you do, something unseen begins to move. The energy of your day starts to transform. Your fears begin to lose their voice. Your mind begins to quiet. Your heart begins to trust again. And in that stillness, you hear it, the whisper of the shepherd, the same gentle voice that has guided countless souls through centuries of chaos and despair. The same light that has guided countless souls through centuries of chaos and despair. That same power is now whispering through your own heartbeat, reminding you that no matter what you face today, you are not alone. The storms may come, the shadows may rise, but the one who walks with the shepherd does not fear the valley. Because even in the deepest night, there is a staff guiding you. Even in your weakness, there is a table being prepared for you, a table of abundance, of rest, of divine restoration. And here's what many people never realize. Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 are not meant to be separate experiences. Together, they form a perfect spiritual circle. One is the voice of heaven's protection, the other the song of heaven's peace. Psalm 91 shields you from the external storms. Psalm 23 calms the inner ones. When you pray them back to back, something mystical happens. Your inner and outer worlds begin to align. You start to notice coincidences that aren't coincidences at all. The right person calls, the right opportunity appears. The problem that felt immovable suddenly shifts. It's not magic, it's divine orchestration responding to your vibration of faith. Because prayer doesn't just ask, it activates. And so, with every word you speak, the energy of fear begins to dissolve. Your home becomes filled with an invisible warmth, a serenity that words can barely describe. You begin to sense that angels, yes, angels, have taken their posts around you, around your loved ones, around your path. You feel a divine assurance. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Those words aren't a promise for someone else. They are for you, right now. And maybe you've been going through something lately. A challenge, a loss, a fear that keeps creeping into your nights. But listen closely. The same God who inspired David to write those Psalms is watching over you this very moment. The same divine power that protected him in battle is waiting to surround you in peace. So don't just read, don't just listen, let it fill you. Feel the words in your chest, let them echo in your soul. Because as you do, something unseen begins to move. The energy of your day starts to transform. Your fears begin to lose their voice. Your mind begins to quiet. Your heart begins to trust again. And in that stillness, you hear it, the whisper of the shepherd, the same gentle voice that has guided countless souls through centuries of chaos and despair. Fear not, for I am with you. You breathe it in, you exhale. And suddenly, it's as if everything that once seemed impossible now feels lighter. The weight you've been carrying starts to lift, and you realize it's not because the world has changed, but because you have changed. Because prayer doesn't just alter circumstances, it transforms the one who prays. And that's the miracle hidden in these Psalms. They reshape you from the inside out. They awaken courage where there was fear, clarity where there was confusion, and strength where there was exhaustion. They remind you that divine power isn't something distant. It's already within you, waiting for your faith to call it forth. And as you walk through your day, through noise, through uncertainty, through everything that life may throw your way, you begin to notice that something profound has shifted. You're not reacting like before. You're not easily shaken. Because the one who prays Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 doesn't walk through the day, they walk above it. And that's when the miracle happens. The ordinary turns sacred. The routine becomes divine. Every step becomes a declaration of faith. Every breath an act of gratitude. You realize that protection and peace were never something to find. They were something to awaken. And as that realization deepens, you feel something stirring, a sacred strength rising in your chest, a warmth that reminds you that you are deeply, eternally loved. And just when you begin to surrender fully into that peace, just when you feel your soul
calling you deeper, calling you towards something greater than words, greater than thought, a presence that cannot be described, only felt. It's as if the Psalms themselves have opened a hidden door within your spirit, and now, through that doorway, light begins to pour in. Soft at first, like the first rays of dawn creeping over a silent landscape, but then stronger, brighter, until it fills every shadow that ever lingered in the corners of your heart. You realize that what you are experiencing is not just comfort, it is transformation. Every syllable of Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 has become a current of energy flowing through you, rewriting the vibration of your being. The anxiety that used to wake you at night begins to lose its grip. The confusion that once clouded your thoughts begins to clear. And in its place, a quiet knowing emerges, an inner voice whispering that you were never abandoned, that you were always being guided, even through the storms. Because the truth is, these Psalms are not just prayers, they are blueprints of divine alignment. When David wrote them, he was not writing from comfort, but from the battlefield of life, surrounded by enemies, hunted by fear, tested by despair. Yet even there, he found peace, he found protection,
He found the assurance that no shadow, no weapon, no darkness could stand against the one who walks under the covering of the Most High. And now, centuries later, that same power still lives in the words, waiting for you to speak them, to breathe them, to let them become one with your soul. Because each time you repeat, He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. You are declaring that no matter how chaotic the world becomes, you are sheltered in divine safety. You are wrapped in light that cannot be pierced by darkness. You begin to notice subtle changes. The way your heart feels lighter, the way your breath flows easier, the way your thoughts, once filled with noise, now move in quiet rhythm with peace. It's not imagination, it's resonance. You have tuned yourself to a higher frequency, one that aligns with faith, gratitude, and divine trust. Then, as your day unfolds, little miracles begin to appear, in ways that seem small but are deeply meaningful. The stranger who smiles at you in a moment you needed it most. The unexpected message that arrives just when you are about to lose hope. The calm that fills you when you should be breaking down. You start to see that this is what happens when you live inside these Psalms. They don't just protect you, they guide the flow of your entire reality. And still, the journey deepens. Psalm 23 begins to echo louder in your spirit, like a melody that refuses to fade. He restores my soul. Those words linger, vibrating through you, touching places you didn't know were wounded. You feel the healing move, gently, lovingly, through memories, fears, regrets. You begin to sense forgiveness, not just toward others, but toward yourself. Because that's what the shepherd does. He doesn't just lead, He restores. He gathers the broken pieces of your heart and weaves them back together with threads of light. He takes what was meant for harm and turns it into wisdom. He takes the valleys you've walked through and transforms them into gardens of grace. And as the prayer flows, you begin to understand something that changes everything. Peace is not the absence of trouble. Peace is the presence of God. You close your eyes and whisper again, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." The words roll over your tongue like sacred honey. You feel them settle in your chest, in your pulse, in your breath. They are no longer verses, they are part of you. And in that stillness, a revelation rises. When you claim these Psalms, you are not reaching out for protection or peace. You are returning to it. It was always there, waiting. You begin to see how the two Psalms mirror each other, how Psalm 91 builds a wall of divine safety around you, while Psalm 23 builds a garden of divine serenity within you. Together, they make you whole. One shields your body, the other shields your soul. One commands the angels, the other commands your heart. And with every repetition, your connection strengthens. The veil between heaven and earth seems to thin. The sound of the world fades, and in its place, you hear something softer, a rhythm older than time itself. It is the heartbeat of creation, the pulse of divine love that sustains everything seen and unseen. You realize that the same force that formed the stars now moves through your breath as you pray. The same voice that spoke galaxies into existence now whispers through the verses that leave your lips. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. You pause and the weight of those words sink in. Surely, not maybe, not sometimes, but surely. It is a promise written in eternity. And as you hold that promise in your heart, a tear forms, not from sadness, but from recognition, because you finally see that these ancient words are not distant scripture. They are alive inside you, shaping your world in real time. You feel the divine gaze upon you, not judging, not demanding, but loving, guiding, protecting. The day continues, the noise returns, yet something within you remains untouched. You walk through crowded streets, face responsibilities, confront challenges, but deep inside, there is a still point that cannot be moved. You carry a secret now, a sacred shield that no one else can see, but that changes everything. And in quiet moments, you catch yourself whispering the Psalms again, not out of fear, but out of gratitude. because they are no longer just prayers. They have become a way of being. You live them, you breathe them, you are them. Then something unexpected happens. A thought, a feeling, almost like a divine nudge. You sense that these psalms are not meant to be kept to yourself. They are living fire meant to be shared. That maybe someone near you, a friend, a loved one, a stranger who seems lost, needs the same words that saved you. And as that realization dawns, your heart expands. You begin to feel compassion, a gentle warmth flowing outward. You understand that your transformation is not only for you, it's also a light meant to guide others. The whisper returns again, clearer this time, drawing you to take the next step. You can almost hear it calling, "Now that you've felt my peace, now that you've walked under my shadow, there is something more I want to show you." The air seems to shimmer. The room feels charged with a quiet power, like the moment before a revelation. You sense that what comes next will not just deepen your faith, it will completely rewire your understanding of divine presence, of protection, of purpose itself.
And then, in that quiet moment, where your breath slows and your heart beats in rhythm with eternity, something extraordinary unfolds. You feel a warmth, not outside of you, but within. It's like a rising light, subtle at first, then radiant, illuminating every shadow that ever lingered in your being. You realize this is not just peace, it's presence. The presence of the one who has been walking beside you all along. Every verse of Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 now echoes through your spirit like a divine melody. He will cover you with his feathers, and you feel that covering, soft yet impenetrable. The Lord is my shepherd, and you sense that guiding hand leading you through unseen paths, away from danger, toward divine appointments. It's as though heaven itself has leaned closer to remind you, you were never alone. The fears that once ruled your mornings have dissolved. The doubts that whispered in the dark corners of your mind have fallen silent. You stand now in a stillness that feels eternal. And in that stillness, you hear it, the sound of your own faith awakening. It's not a shout, it's not thunder, it's a whisper, steady, calm, unbreakable. The whisper that says, "Be still and know that I am God." That's when the realization dawns that these psalms are not just protection for the day, but transformation for your life. They're not meant to be spoken once and forgotten, but lived, breathed, and carried like sacred armor wherever you go. Psalm 91 wraps your world in divine safety. Psalm 23 wraps your heart in divine serenity. Together, they make you unstoppable, not because life becomes easy, but because your spirit becomes unshakable. You begin to see how every trial, every tear, every sleepless night was guiding you here, to this moment of awakening. The pain you once cursed now looks different. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Every dark valley you crossed was only a doorway leading you closer to the light. Every loss was a lesson. Every fear, a forge where faith was refined. And now you understand the hidden power of prayer, not as a desperate plea, but as an act of creation. When you pray these psalms with faith, you are not asking for something distant to happen. You are activating what already exists within you. You are declaring that divine power is here, now, flowing through your words, shaping your path, surrounding your loved ones. That's why miracles don't just happen to those who pray, they happen through them. Because every sincere prayer releases light, and that light never fades. It expands, it multiplies, it touches others without you even knowing. Your peace becomes their peace. Your strength becomes a silent blessing to those who cross your path. And maybe that's the deeper purpose of Psalm 91 and Psalm 23, not just to comfort you, but to awaken the divine presence that wants to work through you. You are the vessel. The Psalms are the key. The Spirit is the fire. As you carry these words in your heart,
you begin to notice that life flows differently. The same challenges appear, but you face them with grace. The same storms come, but you stand firm, rooted in faith. You become a light in the middle of chaos, a calm voice where others panic, a quiet strength that others lean on. Because when you walk with the shepherd, you don't need to see the road. You just need to trust the one who leads. And when you trust, the impossible becomes possible. Doors open where there were walls. Healing comes where there was pain. Peace reigns where there was turmoil. You realize that every time you speak these psalms, you are not just changing your day, you are changing the spiritual atmosphere around you. So, tomorrow morning, when the sun begins to rise and the world starts to move again, take a moment before everything begins. Close your eyes. Whisper Psalm 91. Feel the protection wrap around you like armor made of light. Then speak Psalm 23 and let its peace settle deep into your spirit. Do it not as a routine, but as a sacred act, a declaration that no matter what happens, you walk under divine guidance, covered by divine love. Because the truth is, these prayers never lose their power. They only grow stronger each time you speak them with faith. They're ancient, yet also eternal, and their power will continue to move through generations, through hearts like yours, through voices that dare to believe. Now, take a deep breath. Let the peace you feel right now settle into your heart. Let it expand until it touches every part of your being. You are safe, you are loved, you are guided. And as you move forward, remember, every word you speak in faith reshapes the unseen. And when you start your day tomorrow, or even tonight before you sleep, let your final thought be this: the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Let those words echo through your spirit like a song that never ends, because within them lies everything you need: protection, provision, peace, and purpose. Now, before you go, I want to invite you to do something simple but powerful. If these words touched you, if you felt even a spark of peace, warmth, or divine presence while listening, I invite you to share it below. Write your favorite verse from Psalm 91 or Psalm 23 in the comments section. Let your words become a light for someone else who might be searching for hope right now. Tell us, what part of these psalms spoke to you the most? What did you feel as you heard them? Your comment might be the message someone else desperately needs today. Because faith grows when it's shared. And who knows, your testimony could be the spark that reignites another soul's belief in miracles. So go ahead, take a moment, scroll down, and leave your reflection below. Whether it's a single verse, a prayer, or just the words Amen, your voice matters here. This space is sacred, a community of hearts connected by faith, bound by light, protected by divine promise. And as you do, remember, you are not alone. The same power that watches over you is watching over everyone reading these words right now. We are united by the same shepherd. We walk under the same shadow of the Almighty. And together, we will see His goodness follow us today, tomorrow, and all the days of our lives. Amen.